What's up, guys? How's it going? MikeTheTech here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to use 7-zip from install to actually zipping something up. Before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to our channel members. We have a new member this month, Moni Dav. Thank you so much for signing up, and I appreciate your support. If you want to support the channel, be sure to click on that sub or thanks button below. All right, so now we are on the 7-zip website at 7-zip.org/download.html. I'll put this link in the description, and you're going to want to download the appropriate executable for whichever operating system you're on. In my case, I'm on Windows, and I'm on 64-bit Windows, so I'm going to use 64-bit executables. Let's go ahead and click on download, and it will download down here. We're going to go ahead and open this download and hit yes. Now we can choose where we want to install it. I'll leave it at the default location and hit install. Now 7-zip is installed. Easy as that. So let's go ahead and test it on a file. Let's go ahead and open up our File Explorer and head to our desktop. Let's say we want to zip one of these files up. We can go ahead and right-click on a folder, choose Show More Options, and now we have a new 7-zip menu. We're going to go ahead and choose Add to Archive. We can choose Add to the folder name for a really quick archive, or we can just go to Add to Archive, and that'll give us all the options we want to set first. Now, here's our options. We can choose the archive format. 7-zip is recommended because that's the one that's, obviously the program's namesake and probably the fastest and smallest compression method. However, only other people with 7-zip can use this. So if you want to zip in a more common format, you can choose the zip file format. And using it this way, as opposed to just zipping in Windows Explorer, is you get a lot more options on how fast you want it stored and how small you want the archive. If you want the archive super, super teeny tiny, you go to Ultra, and it will take forever, but it's going to be really, really small. If you just want to add it to a folder, to an archive and send it to a friend, and you don't really care about size, you can just hit store, and that will make an archive very, very quickly, but it's not going to lower the size very much. It's basically just going to be like sending the folder as a file. So if we switch back to 7-zip, you can go ahead and see that there are all of these different options here you can choose. This is all based on your hardware. Depending on how much RAM you have, you can adjust how much RAM you want to give the program to use. The star 80% means it will use up to 80% of your available RAM. So I feel like that's the best way to do it. You can also choose how many CPU threads to use if you don't want your computer to hang too much. If it is hanging, you can lower this to a smaller amount. Mine has 24 threads, so I'm going to use 24. And then you can choose the block size as how large you want the internal blocks to be. Word size as well as dictionary size can help with compression as well. I personally recommend LZMA2 as the compression method. That seems to be the smallest and most performant that I use. So this is essentially my settings that I use right here. I know I didn't go too in depth with them. A lot of it is just kind of, saving kilobits here and there. But essentially I like to use these settings, and based on usage, I'll choose 0 to 9, whether I just want to store it and make a quick backup, or if I want to, if I'm headed to bed and I just want it as small as possible and it's a really big file, then I'll choose Ultra, and that'll make sure that I get it in as much of a space-saving format as possible. But yeah, you can just choose normal as your default and press OK, and it will start compressing the file. This is going to give a much better result than just compressing within Windows itself, because you're actually able to choose how much it's compressed, and I think it does a much better job at it. So this one was compressed under normal. We're going to go ahead and compress it 2 more ways. We're going to right-click and choose Compress to Zip File, and then we're going to add it to an archive again using 7-zip and choose the Ultra method, and we'll hit OK. And I'm going to use Ultra at the end to show that it was made with that. And we're going to compare sizes. So we have Polygon, the 7-zip version, and the Ultra version, which is still being compressed, and it's taking forever because this is the Ultra compression method. We can take a look at these sizes though while this goes. If we right click on Polygon 0.3, this was done in Windows Explorer, and this is 461 megabytes. If we right click on the 7-zip version and go to properties, we see it is 417 megabytes. So we do have a slightly smaller file size by default. This one is almost finished, so we'll see how much that one did. We saved about 40 megabytes of size between these. All right, so the Ultra one finished. We can right click on that and go to properties. And it is 409 megabytes. Not quite as small as I thought it was going to be, but we definitely saved a good amount of space over the original compression method from 461 to 409. How big was the original file? 593 megabytes. So it went from about 600 megabytes to 409 total. Not too bad. Saved almost 200 megabytes of space. Now, to open these archives, all you have to do is right-click on one, go to Show More Options if you're on Windows 11, choose 7-zip, and go to Open Archive. You can also choose Extract To and extract the entire folder into its own new folder. Here's the folder itself, and we can simply open it or drag it into our desktop or wherever we'd like to place it. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Peace.
Conversations to games to interviews with a broader view. He keeps it fresh, always brings something new. It's MikeTheTech, 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 the architect. MikeTheTech, MikeTheTech, yeah. MikeTheTech, the architect.